Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the YSN Power Hour Super Show, Week 10. Boys, we made it. Hey, we made it
Wow.
all the way. We're all the way in. Week 10 feels like we just started. Unbelievable. The fastest 10 weeks of the year. We talk about it in passing. This truly has been the fastest 10 weeks I have ever experienced in my life. Just incredible that we're sitting here on some of the last football Fridays we're going to have, gentlemen. Sam, I know this is like just it aches your heart. Aches your heart because after week 16, when we're celebrating state championships, you're counting down the days to week 1 all over again. But let's talk about your feelings. Let's make this about feelings as we start the show, Sam. Week 10, you've been there before. What are the feelings going on in some of these players, knowing that they're going to suit up for the very last time in their athletic careers, for their communities, for their schools on that gridiron?
Yeah, it's I'm not going to go too far into it because that's going to be my spark for the show today. Is this week 10 and it just being a transition point for a lot of different teams. But, I won't go too far into where I'll go with the spark, but I will say for a lot of these teams, playoffs are off the table. They know that playoffs have been off the table since about week 8 for some of these teams. So all you're playing for are these rivalry games. It's the week of final home games. It's the week of final games. But for other teams, they're really prepping for the second half of the war. You know what I mean? Like the first half is, you've got 10 battles before you get into the big war where, it's in most parts, it's going to be unknown. In some cases it's going to be a rematch. And that's what keeps me, it keeps me excited because even though, playoffs are off the table for a lot of these teams, we are getting ready for 6 weeks of nothing but blood, sweat, and tears and trying to get to Canton.
What's interesting, my friend, before you get too far, and we're going to get to Eric Hughes in a moment as we await the arrival of some of our other friends on this Football Friday. Guys, I did the math earlier, and even though I'm not good at math, I had somebody else. All right, let's be honest. I had somebody else do the math for me. I stuffed them in one of those lockers Sam's behind after they were done doing the math. So we have right now 30 of our YSN affiliated teams, our YSN family teams are like right now, if the season ended right this second, are in. There's a possibility for, it looks like 2 to 3 more teams to get in. So you're talking half of the YSN family of schools getting into the playoffs. Eric Hughes, do we like that? Is that too many? I mean, with this 16-team playoff system, do we like that? Do we feel like that's a little bit of participation trophy, or is, hey, anybody's got a chip in the chair, as Andy says, and they got a chance at the title?
I mean, there's a lot of teams there. I mean, I know a lot of teams make it, but there are also like a lot of teams that also don't make it, believe it or not. And I think for some of these teams that finish like 5-5, 6-4, sometimes even 7-3, they would miss the playoffs in the past, but they were like really good teams. Now they get a chance to at least go there and show what they got.
Sam, do you think there should be a condition that you have to at least finish 500 to make the playoffs?
I'm going to say no. And you know why? Because, my love story of the year is the Cardinal Mooney. Yeah. These teams, I think it really, it pats them on the back for taking these schedules that are, most athletic directors would be like, not in a million years. I don't know who I made angry. You know what I mean? So, I spend a lot of time on that Joe Idol and Bruce Monin site.
Of course you bring him back.
I spent a lot of time watching looking through and the updates and stuff like that. And one of my favorite lists are, they call it the playoff quirk list. And, there are teams out there. One I could think of that's not a YSN school in the Cleveland area, in John Adams. They're 7-1 going into this week. They have to win this week to even make the playoffs because of of those 7 wins, they've got a cumulative of their opponents have 5 total wins in that 7 wins. So, you take a team like a Cardinal Mooney who goes out there and they say, we want the biggest, the best. And if we lose, well, we're going to go out kicking and screaming. I think that this is a way of showing people to go out there and get these tough games, go out there and play these games. Like everybody wants to see South Range and Canfield, right? Like this is just another one of those reasons where play the game because you've got nothing to lose.
I'm really excited. I mean, week 10, it means a lot for a lot of teams. There's a lot of control your own destiny teams. If you go to joeidle.com, plug Joe, we got you. And you look at this, especially in Division 6 and Division 7. I mean, you look at it, there's teams that can win tonight and have a 2 to 3 win season and make the playoffs if they beat who their opponent is tonight in week 10 with that essentially that one victory. So you look at another team, East Palestine, looking for their 7th victory of the year. And they are a control your own destiny team. But if United, who they're playing tonight at home, if United wins, they win the EOAC outright. We'll get to that game in a little bit. Guys, there's a lot for all these teams to play for. And that's why week 10 is so important. A lot of times week 10, you're like, geez, oh man, do we rest our guys? Like, we're going to week 11. Do we rest our guys for this to get to the promised land? Or, the rust versus rest category. So there's always that too. So we're going to get to these games. Ty Bartell joins us, and I know Chris Colucci is right around the corner. He said 2 minutes. Let's get Ty's.
Before we go into the games, I just want to say this. Like, a lot of people have complained about the increase in playoff teams, right? But, and I know I'm in the minority here, but what is the best part of March and March Madness?
Mm-hmm.
It's seeing these teams that nobody gave a shot because everybody's getting a shot at the tournament. You know what I mean? Through conference championships and stuff like that. And the more football you get, the better. I've always been that way. I know I'm in the minority there, but give me as many as we possibly can.
No, I remember like my senior year when I played Strubs, we won 7-3. We missed the playoffs. Our losses were like the Canfield. We lost Hubbard. Hubbard went to state that year, or they came close to that, if I'm not mistaken. And the bad game is Crestview. And they won 6-4 the next year after I graduated and made the playoffs. So, yeah, I think the playoffs expanding is definitely a good thing.
What about you, Ty? You're muted.
Yeah,
You're
I
muted.
mean, honestly, with that, it's tough to say. It's tough to say because, I mean, yeah, you give those teams that opportunity, but I mean, it's always going to be a question too. In some cases too, once you get into the higher divisions of football, like, do we even want to send our kids out there right now? Because there's a possibility of them seriously getting hurt in these 16 versus 1 matchup. So that's something you have to take into consideration. I think it got to go on a game by game basis and a team by team basis. You got to know your team. You got to know if they're going to be up for that type of challenge, and you got to know that you're going to have enough soldiers on the other end of it too. Once that game's done being played, that you can move on to the next one.
Well, it's rest versus rust, right? I mean, it just boils down to that. It's okay. How injured are we moving into week 10? Are we guaranteed a spot for week 11? Who was our opponent? And obviously every win matters. And that's what every coach will tell you. But a win in week 10 means nothing if you don't win in week 11, right? At least
we have a game on the schedule tonight that is going to be that is a real question.
Are you going to point it out when we get there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, he's teasing me now. I don't.
Yeah.
He's like, I won't ever tell you this show.
Never mind. All right, let's get to it. Fur popped in for a minute. I don't know what he's doing. He's setting something up, so we can only imagine what Fur
hot dog
Colucci.
suit.
Oh, if he busts out the hot dog suit, we are in for a treat.
It's the weekend for Halloween. You got to.
Oh, you should talk. You should talk.
It's not my fault.
You were a Mets hat last week, and now all of a sudden we're all aboard with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay.
I'm going to PA tonight. I have to.
Yeah. Well,
safety concerns.
All right, let's get to this before we get in any more trouble. There's people out there watching. They're saying, what the hell are these guys doing? All right, let's get to it. Hey, boys, football tonight starts at 7 p.m. right here on this network. We got a ton of games for you. At 7:30, we got a game. It's across the way. It is not, coincidentally, Mr. Hughes' game. It is going to be Avonworth versus Beaver. It is senior night. Noah Doty, CJ Schroed's doing this game for us. Let's start with the reverse order with Mr. Colucci. Welcome to the party, pal.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't even know what I missed.
Okay, you're good. Would you like Beaver or Avonworth tonight?
Who's the YS? Beaver.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Beaver.
I'm going to throw that chair for you today. That's going to happen. Hughes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Beaver. I haven't seen too much of them this year, but I know they are having a great season. I think they'll get it done in senior night. Give me the Bobcats.
Avonworth out of the Pittsburgh area, near where
Mm.
my wife went to school. So
Mm.
I am going to go against them. I'm going to go against them. There's only one team in Pittsburgh that wins, and they have Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And there might be two people on this. Which terrible towel is that? Before we get into it, for the actual terrible towel. Okay,
The
so
upside
one
down
of
one.
us
Upside
had
down,
another
buddy.
terrible towel we were swinging around the other day. I'm just going to say that like never before. I'm going to go with Beaver. They're great young men. They're going to win tonight over Avonworth. Sam, what do you decide?
Oh, I'm going Beaver all the way. It's YSN or it's YSN or nothing.
Bobcats. All right, Ty, who do you got?
Bobcats are in the middle of a good season, 7-2 right now. I think they could get it done tonight as well. Let me go with Beaver.
All right, Sam, you knew nothing about that game. You know something about this game. Ashtabula St. John at Matthews. You got the game.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be a freezing one. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love these cold games. I'll be on top of the press box there in Vienna. So, you know, this is what I...
Vienna. Don't get
Oh,
killed out there.
Vienna. It's Vienna when I'm talking about the sausage. Vienna when I'm talking about the football. No, you know, this
We
is
don't
a
talk
game.
about sausage.
I think St. John, you know, last week they got a nice confidence boost and a big win over the Grand Valley Mustangs. This is the same Mustangs team that Grand Valley had beat just 2 weeks ago. St. John found a lot of things. There's been some changes in the backfield. Chase Newsome last week was incredible. Sully Twining, a senior, getting his senior moment in his final home game. Ended up being the player of the week on the 440 Sports Show. 127 yards on just 8 carries, including a 60-yard carry last week. It was incredible. I think they're feeling great. They're looking to end the season the right way, and I'm taking St. John in this one.
Ty.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this Mustang team too, and they've had some struggles this season. And I think from St. John's scores and who they've been able to compete against, I think the Fighting Herald's going to dog walk this team. Honestly, I think they're going to have a big night. I'm going to go with St. John big in this one.
Bow wow
Prince
wow.
of Portage coming in hot. I love it.
He is. He's throwing. He's lighting those arrows on fire and shooting them. All right, let's go. Eric Hughes, who there's only one way to go. Whenever you go hot, Eric Hughes goes hotter. Let's go, hot take.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it chill with this one. I'm gonna take St. John by a lot also.
I thought he was going to go the other way and go Matthews.
Return fire. Fur, who do you got?
St. John.
I'll take the Fighting Heralds as well. And that's a sweep. Is that 2 weeks in a row for the Heralds?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Heralds, we're proud of you. We're proud of you. We love you. We love you. All right, Beaver Local at Lakeview. Ooh, this is a very interesting game. This is a very interesting game. McNuggy's a very interesting announcer. Ty, where's your impression of McNuggy's?
Unreal.
For who do you got in this game? 2 YSN teams going head to head. Beavers and the Bulldogs.
Well, I'm upset because my mouse quit working. I can't see the damn lines. But give me Beaver Local.
Okay, that works. Hughes?
I'm gonna take Lakeview.
The Bulldogs. All right, we're split. Ty?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Feels like a 50-50 game for me. I'll go Beaver Local at home too. With McNuggy is on the call. I'll go Beaver Local.
Sammy?
Yeah, I think it's tough to be an NE8 school if you're not at least 500. You know, you've got a whole year to deal with it if you're not. And Lakeview's going on that. Give me Lakeview in this one.
This was a school in Beaver Local that was being flirted around as the 8th team when Jefferson left. So this is another interesting matchup. Beaver Local playing a lot of those NE8 teams. I like Beaver Local in this one. I think they're playing good ball right now. I think they're playing good ball. They've got some great players. I mean, Wade Foster's been able to step in some opportunities. Is it Taylor Johnston, that's been able to just be an absolute dog all over the field for him, and his getting his name in write-ups all over the place. I like Beaver Local. Lakeview's played a tough schedule, obviously. This is that point, guys. Keep in mind when we're watching the scoreboard tonight, this is the point in that NE8 that you're seeing a lot of teams battling fatigue and exhaustion because they're in week 10, and then they go in, and the majority of these teams going into week 11. So keep that in mind as you're looking across the board tonight. Speaking of the board, The Boardmen is taking on Canfield tonight in the Cardinals' nest. Myself, Craig Walters, have the call. Got to call last week with Craig. The Cardinals came out. It was 7-0 at halftime over Howland. There was a lot of concerns. Talked to Coach Ignacio about that. And then all of a sudden, the offense opened up, and it just looked like the Cardinals took over. Sean Bowling is an absolute dog. He is a great running back, fast, and more than that, he's physical. If he can get over some of the injuries that has plagued him this year, Cardinals are going to have a fighter's chance going into Week 11, no matter who they play. And yes, we know who they potentially could play. A 16 versus a 1 that you might want to keep your eye on as we go in. But does Boardman, who's having a phenomenal year, do they have the horses to beat Canfield tonight on the, I guess it's like the Battle of 224A? Because you got Poland and Canfield, and you got Boardman and Canfield. So like, not great marketing on my part, but I mean, it's true. I'm going to go Boardman here. I think Boardman out of that wing T this year. I do hear there's some injuries. We won't know until we get there, but I'm going to go Boardman, but I'm going to go close. This one might even go, I'm going to call my shot. I'm going to call overtime, double overtime tonight in Canfield. I got a long night ahead of me.
Boardman's favored by 11.
Well, that's what I said. Drew Pasteur. Tell us how to pronounce your name, and then we'll worry about your picks. Sam, who do you have?
Yeah, I was looking at because I didn't realize that Fur got his mouse working, so I was looking at the lines here. This one, both of these teams are going to make the playoffs, whether they win or lose. Man, it's tough because I really like Boardman.
Wait. Did you say both teams make it, win or lose? Is that true?
Canfield's not guaranteed to make it if they lose.
I didn't think so. I thought you had breaking news.
Canfield had a 45% shot whether they win or lose.
I didn't get listen, as someone that got a lot of 45% in high school, that wasn't a guarantee for me to pass any classes.
So Canfield loses. If they win this game, they're looking at Cuyahoga Valley Christian. If they lose this game and they make the playoffs, they're going to have to go against Ursuline in the first round. So I think Canfield is playing for more in that, and just because of that, I'm going with Canfield.
Senior night too, don't forget, Ty.
Yeah, I think Boardman last week against Fitch too. I thought that was going to be a much closer game than it was too, and I think Falcons against that defense really kind of exploded against it. I think Canfield with their offense exploding in the second half, and Canfield traditionally always having a good defense, it might spell trouble for the Spartans team, especially if there are injuries. I'm going to go Canfield in this one with a lot to play for.
Two dogs, Eric Hughes.
Yeah, I know it's not the same Canfield team we're used to seeing this year. They're still good, but not that same level. But I'll tell you what, they do seem to thrive in like these big rivalry games. They beat Poland this year earlier, and then they beat Allen last week. I think they'll do the same tonight. So give me the Cardinals.
Look at this, boys. Am I a lone wolf in this?
Everyone knows who I'm picking. I'm picking the Spartans in a huge win tonight. They're going to the playoffs. Sorry, Canfield. It's over tonight.
I don't think anybody knew who you were picking, by the way. I was sitting on pins and needles. I was sitting on them. I mean, that's not literal. It's metaphor. We go to the love of Sam's life, second only to his wife, Cardinal Mooney and Ursuline. It is, boys, the holy war. Throw out those stinking records, right? Because we've seen this game come down to the last play, the last drive, the last quarter. How many times? It's Mooney, it's Ursuline, it's at Stambaugh. Tim Corso has the coverage for us. Let's start with Sam. You've seen Mooney. You love Mooney. Can they pull what I would assume to be an upset tonight? What's the line for?
It's ugly.
Ursuline by 32.
Yeah.
Oh my. Sam, do you believe?
I believe in Cardinal in this one. I believe in Mooney. I think that nobody's giving them a shot. I think people are falling in love with what the record is, not the way they play. It's Gentile, the quarterback. I believe in him. I got a taste of Mooney early in the season, and I can't get enough of him. And I'm gonna continue on it right now. Give me Mooney over Ursuline tonight. Shock the world.
Whew. Okay, Sam believes. Hey, Mooney, you got one. You got Sammy. He believes. Ty.
Not for me, man. Not for me. This is an Ursuline team, man. They haven't allowed over 20 points since week 1 against that 9-0 Walsh Jesuit team that's also beaten Hoban and Benedictine this year. That's a very good Walsh Jesuit team. Ursuline's defense has been unbelievable. They've pitched 3 shutouts this year against some quality teams, Harding, Fitch, and Farrell, PA. I'm going Irish in this one. I think it's Ursuline's year. I think they're going to run the gauntlet. And I think they're going to have a really big end of the season victory as well, too. But I'm going to go Ursuline in this Holy War first.
Ty's going to the party in week 16. All right, Hughes. Is it hot take time?
No, I'm saving that for later. But yeah,
I'm cooking it right now. It's got to take time to cook.
I mean, Mooney, I believe they're better than the record indicates. Really good team. They do load up their schedule single year though, and they have to play Ursuline. Ursuline's having a great season. I think the Irish get it done tonight. I don't know about the 32 line though. I don't know about that.
All right, Fur.
Just looking at Mooney's schedule, it's tough. Lake Catholic 9-0.
Yep.
Steubenville 9-0. Garaway's really good Division 5 team 8-1. That's just a tough schedule, and they're competitive games, 100%. But I honestly don't see Mooney winning tonight. I think Ursuline's going to pull it out in the Holy War, but it's not going to be by 32. It's going to be by 16.
I don't know that the last time, and it could be last year, and I just don't remember, that this has been a blowout. That this has been a blowout. Usually these are really tightly contested ball games. And usually, I'm just saying, I don't know, I don't have any inside information. Usually, there's some new uniforms and helmets coming out at some point. So we might see something. Usually it's week 10 that they pull these out. It's where they debuted the all greens, I believe. Was it the all greens or the all white helmets? I can't remember. I think it was the greens, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years ago. So we will see. We will see. I'm going to go with the Irish. But again, I think this is going to be way tighter than 32. There's 32, I think, that's an astronomical number. That's like you're looking.
Can we talk about what Mooney gets for all their hard work tonight in week 11? If they win, they get Glenville. If they lose, they get Perry.
Well, I mean, it's on the flip side. It's not like you haven't seen competition like that too. And I mean, I don't think it's going to be. I think Mooney's defense. They've shown time and time again that they could hold a lot of good scoring teams down and give them some fits. I think they can do that with Ursuline. I just think the Ursuline defense. On the flip side, I just don't see Mooney scoring many points on that Irish defense.
Could this be like an 18-12 game?
I think it could be a very low scoring game potentially too. I mean, I could see Ursuline putting it away, getting into the 20s, maybe even the 30s. But I think this is going to be a lower scoring game for sure, just with the way both these teams' defenses have played all year.
All right, let's get to the next game. We have Crestview at LeBray. Tony Perazio, Nick Van Pelt doing this one. Ty, that Crestview team, I know they came up short last week, but man, did they impress you, and they impressed everybody with that tough loss to Garfield.
Yeah, I mean, they took Garfield to the absolute limit, and I mean, I think that's going to be a battle for the conference championship or a big game going forward the next few years with the MVAC Gray Division. But this is a LeBray team too. I mean, they've beaten big teams. They beat JFK earlier this year, and they've showcased that they're a good team. It depends on which LeBray team we're going to see tonight. I think this year though, Crestview's been more consistent. Even in their losses, they've looked consistent. They can do some things well. I'm curious to see if Max Hawkins is back playing tonight too, because I know he got roughed up a little bit, and I mean, I'm hoping to see him there. He was an obviously dynamic back, and that young man is so fun to watch when he's playing. I'm gonna go Crestview tonight though, because their defense is phenomenal this year, and Jake Nolan can still get it done. And hey, Mikey Proctor stepped in a big way too, so look out for him as well if he's in the starting back position.
Samuel, Crestview, LeBray.
I love LeBray. I mean, I got on that LeBray train, you know, the week they beat JFK. I got a little bit shook up when they lost to Liberty. But I still believe. I think LeBray is being overlooked. I don't think people are giving him enough respect. Put some respect on that name, on the skull horns, whatever. Give me LeBray.
Crush you. Well, all that being said, I'm going with the Rebels. Hughes.
Yeah, I know that Crusty lost to Garfield, but they did show a lot of grit in that game. I believe they only lost by 1 point. And I think they'll take that, use it as field night, and they'll spoil LeBray senior night. So give me the Rebels.
Furdog.
Crestview.
Nice. Well said. I'm assuming we have the next game, Fairport Harding at Wyndham. It says school. It's not green on my schedule. I'm assuming we have it. And there's another one, Geneva and Jefferson. We got a name down. Sam, is that confirmed? Do we have that game?
Oh,
Scott?
yeah. That's
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That should be. Yeah, Scott's there.
Okay. Let's go start with Fairport Harding at Wyndham. Again, assuming the school has this. I'm going to go Wyndham. Man, I'm going Wyndham. I don't know if you guys have Jake I as on your Facebook or social media. If you're able to see the field tonight, Jake I did this. I mean, this is like hand painted. He takes care of the fields and a lot of the maintenance around Wyndham. It just says hope with the ribbon, the pink ribbon. Dude, it is awesome. And his social media, which, listen, there's a lot of different ways to carry on your social media nowadays. For him to just say, there's always hope with a picture of the I believe it's the seniors that are on that 50-yard line with hope. I got chills. Like, I got real emotional. And it, like, I know you're not supposed to. You're supposed to just go, oh, that's cool. But in a situation like that, I'm sure breast cancer or any kind of cancer has affected your everybody in some way, shape, or form by now. To understand what the eyes have gone through from a family standpoint in the last month or so, and to see him continually doing this for the kids and the right reasons, I take Wyndham in a big way. I don't think I'll ever root against Wyndham because of guys like Jake I and his family and that community coming together. And that, I'm telling you, if you don't do anything the rest of your day, if you have a chance to peek in on this game and you see that hope in the middle of the field, you'll be shocked. It's not turf. Looks like it. It's not. Bombers. Sam.
Yeah, I think I've watched both of these teams play this year multiple times. Wyndham has had a phenomenal year. Jake I is one of the best football players I've seen in the conference. Or, I'm sorry, Jack I is one of the best football players I've seen in this conference over the last couple of years. I think PV did a good job of keeping him in control, and that's why that game ended the way they did. I don't think Fairport has the ability to do what PV did. I think Wyndham's going to go out there. They're bouncing back off of a tough loss this week. I think you can mark Wyndham down for probably 50 points tonight.
All right. Wyndham is Sam's pick. Ty, how about you?
You know who I'm going with, man. I got so much love for the Eyes. I have so much love for that Wyndham community. They're such a small village, but they're so strong, and they are so tight knit too. And the people that come from there, they really love that school too, and like love it to their bones. So I'm gonna go Wyndham in a big one. That's a great picture too. That's amazing.
Dude, how cool is that?
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I mean, Jake Eyes he does all this stuff too around the field too. Like, first and foremost, too, with Jake, you can't ask for a better human being, I think, to be a head football coach. I mean, yes, X's and O's, he does a great job, but a better human being that's going to teach you life skills, that's going to teach you how to be a man. Like that's what Jake brings to the table as a coach, and I love him so dearly as a coach, too, and he does such a great job for that community. Bombers big in this one.
Eric?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bombers big also.
Fur?
I feel like I'd be the most hated person ever if I took Fairport, but I was picking the Bombers either way. So give me Wyndham.
I was gonna say, I think
you're going the real villain route.
You're at the front of the line anyway. For like, I'm just saying. I mean, although if you're in Struthers, Sam might be ahead of you in line, but otherwise, I think you're pretty much hated by everybody. Maybe not.
I have to play my gas accordingly.
They pull over everybody with Ashtabula plates and Struthers now because of Sam. They see Ashtabula on that back plate and they're like, get him over.
All right. On to Geneva and Jefferson. Scott has it for us. Sammy, tell us about this one.
This is the one I was teasing about. So for the Geneva Eagles, whether they win or lose, they have 2 home games. Whether they win or lose, they are playing Madison in a rematch at home next week. Madison last week was beating Geneva 14-0 going into halftime. Geneva has to score 21 unanswered points to win that game. I think they know that week 11 is going to be a battle. On the Jefferson side of things, if they win this game, they're in the playoffs. After a tough year, after a year where, they started off and nobody knew when they were going to get a win, to be able to bounce back and get into the playoffs, they are playing for just everything. Cage Bozar's 87 yards away from the all-time Jefferson School record receiving. They did have a quarterback change as Mason Khalil, who's a youngster who's going to come in and play that quarterback position. He played well against Edgewood. I think Jefferson wants it more. I think Hannah is fired up for this one. Give me Jefferson in the biggest upset of the night.
I'll take Jefferson too. You got me talked into it. Caw-caw! Falcons, let's fly. Ty, how about you?
Shock the world, Jefferson. Let's go.
Eric.
Jefferson looked really good against Edgewood last week. I thought for sure Edgewood had that one. So I think they'll build off that and win tonight. Give me the Falcons.
Look at when did you become a company guy?
We ain't taking Geneva.
I'm proud of you. On to Fur. Who do you have? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hey, Geneva. Kick rocks.
Yeah.
To be nice, kick rocks. Okay. Screw you guys. Give me Jefferson.
The only rocks in Geneva are the ones you skip on the lake. That's the only rocks that you have to have there. Okay.
Well,
it's
I
a
can't
beautiful
say
place.
What I want to say. I don't want to get canceled. It's gonna be huge. Huge.
Listen, you said everything you needed to say on Sunday night in that big gold stadium that we heard on the way back by a particular media source. There were 2 idiots in the crowd that started a "We want Justin" chant after 2 incomplete passes. That may or may not be about 50% or slightly under of this broadcast today. But we also started the USA chant, which will be my spark, by the way.
I don't even like Pittsburgh, and I say
I genuinely thought Sam was going to say he doesn't like the USA.
No.
I thought Sam, you were walking a line right there because I had the trigger ready. If you were saying I genuinely don't even like USA, bye-bye, pal. We lost the comrade.
Huge.
He's gone. Never before. On to where am I? Hawken and Perry. Good night, Hawken. Good night.
Yeah.
Sam.
This is 2 very different 8-1s.
Yeah. Nice try. Who's the old coach for the Browns? I always forget his name. Mangini. Yeah, his kid's the center. His kid could be the quarterback. It's not going to matter. Perry Power. Pirate Power. Raise the Jolly Roger. Whatever you want to do out there. Can I just go ahead and say sweep, guys?
Sweep skis. Yeah.
Anybody picking against Perry?
No. Pirates looking to go back-to-back for the chip this year.
Boys, I think D4 is going to be fun to watch.
It is. It's going to be a gauntlet to get through.
Oh, Perry, they screwed them over. But I'll tell you what, that's a scary Perry. That's a scary Perry.
Scary Perry.
That's scary Perry. I mean, that sounds like what you talk about when you're, when you're in the neighborhood. You don't go to that house to trick or treat. That's scary Perry. Okay, he ain't giving out Snickers bars. He's giving out razor blades and hand grenades. Let's go to Jackson Milton and Western Reserve. Chris Colucci and Billy Whiteshoe is going to be there tonight. Christopher, please tell us about this matchup.
Yeah, it's a rivalry that goes on for a long time. Reserve Jackson Milton, about 15, not even 15 minutes, like 10 minutes down the road from each other. 2 schools that don't like each other. It's going to be a fun game. It's senior night home at Western Reserve. I'm excited to see it. Talk to Coach Armini. He's excited for this game. A lot of the guys are excited. They had the whole football team at Ben's this week for the interviews. So it was a great week. I'm really excited. my personal opinion, and I know Sam probably won't agree with me because he's a butthead, but
Yeah.
Jackson Milton's having a down year, and Western Reserve having an up year. That's record face value, but it doesn't matter. It's rivalry week. Throw those out the window. I will pick Western Reserve. I'm a ride or die with Western Reserve. Western Reserve by 24.
Can I ask an honest question? Because
Yeah.
we've been doing this for 8 years, 8 seasons now. Every week is rivalry week at Western Reserve. Am I wrong?
It feels like it.
Am I wrong? Like,
Three big rivalries.
There's no such thing as 3 rivalries. You have 1 rivalry.
Yeah.
You have what? Like,
That's not true.
Can we just say Western Reserve's the Roddy Piper of the MVAC?
Does
They're
Western
just
Reserve
the
like
ultimate-
anybody?
I mean, let's be honest. Like right there, you have Western Reserve, which is Roddy Piper. You've got Canfield, which is like the Ultimate Warrior, and you've got South Range, which is Hulk Hogan. Like you have those 3 that you either love or love to hate. There is no other way, right? And then you got Poland, that's like Macho Man, right? Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's.
I mean,
get
every
NWO
week we
vibes
could sit
from-
here and talk about Western Reserve and how it's a rivalry. I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, who's the real rival? And look in the comments. I can't see him. Who's the real rival for Western Reserve?
I mean, I'm
West
not
Range,
a
right?
Western Reserve.
I would say their biggest one would probably be, to me, I would think McDonald is probably their biggest one. Maybe
if you-
Jackson Milton in second. I don't know.
If you ask a Western Reserve person, let's ask a Western Reserve person. Hold on.
I
Oh
think,
my God! If Devontae Adams shows up, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I think I'd say between Jackson Milton and McDonald, honestly, it's probably their.
Okay, I have a Western Reserve. It's not Devontae Adams. He's not from Western Reserve. I have an alumni from Western Reserve. Who is the
Shell!
biggest?
Hi,
Who's the
Who's
biggest?
Western Reserve's biggest rival?
Jackson Milton.
See, Western Reserve people say Jackson Milton.
I would say Jackson Milton. However, McDonald has become a big rival. Like in the 90s in football, we were 10-0. So when I was in high school, we were both 10-0. I think we were actually
Don't look at me.
I think we were 11-0, and then McDonald beat us. But no, so McDonald became in Springfield recently has become more of
Here we go.
Just
I
adding
told you
But
there's
no,
3 big games.
If you were gonna pick one, it's Jackson.
Okay. Where's Louisville on all this? Because I've heard there's some rivalry there.
Yep.
That one I'm out on. Like that one.
Shelly says, peace.
Even though they beat them in the playoffs last year.
I'm just putting that one to sleep. Hey,
Thank you, Shell.
take this.
Special
dude.
guest.
Oh, geez.
Where's Vinny's ring?
Oh boy. All right. Let's get on with it. Thank you for absolutely nothing. On to Hughes. Who do you got in this one?
I think it'll be a little closer than people think. I know Western Reserve, they love to run the football. They're really good at it. But Jackson Milton, they have a good back also in Keegan White. So I think it's going to be a dominant game on the ground, this one. I think Jackson Milton, they'll be able to keep up in the first half, but Reserve, I think they just have too much talent. So I'll take the Blue Devils in this one.
Ty?
Yeah, I mean, Reserve right now is currently seeded top seed in their respective region, and they're kind of defending that. The only real team that could take that from them is Hillsdale if they beat Norwayne, and that's always a gauntlet conference anyway. Norwayne's a really good team. That's going to be a tough win for Hillsdale to try to get. So really, Reserve's playing for a potential #1 spot. Either way, they get 2 playoff games. But yeah, rivalry game, throw records out the window, right? But I do think Western Reserve just has bigger pieces up front. They're going to be able to run the ball a little bit more, and I think in later weeks, once the weather starts getting cold, like it's going to be tonight, running the ball is going to be a bigger edge. So give me Reserve in this one.
Senor Torres.
Listen, even though every part of my soul wants to go against Fur on this one, I think Western Reserve deserves better. So I'm going to give them my go on this one. Give me Western Reserve. It feels dirty, not because of you, Western Reserve, because of that guy.
I too am going to take Western Reserve. I think what Sam's trying to say is you made it, man. When you got people picking against your team just because you're the guy, You made it. Hey, let's give a round of applause for making it. We're proud of you. Also, a round of applause for Shelly for contributing more in
Absolutely.
30 seconds than Fur did in like 5 minutes. We're proud of you, buddy. Lisbon and Wellsville. Gary Altizer has the call for us down in the Ville. Gentlemen, this game, potentially, game of the night here on the network. Fur, who you got?
Looking at the line right now, Lisbon's favored by 2. Ooh,
Road Dogs.
interesting.
Yeah, that's going to change some ideas here.
But hey, my man's not here and wrestlers stick together. Give me Wellsville.
Oh, yeah, because you got reamed out last week because you went against him. Slime bag. All right, on to you, Eric Hughes.
Yeah, I'll pick Wellsville for Gary also.
Where is Gary? Come on, Gary. We need you. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got? Fur for president.
I can tell you now that's a bad idea.
That is a terrible idea. That is a really bad idea.
Chipotle for everybody.
And Mexico's going to pay for it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be Ty.
Let me go Wellsville on this one. I'm hoping if we get a sweep, it'll magically make Gary appear.
Say it.
Listen, I'm not going against Wellsville at home. They had to play 14 away games, I think, before they got their first home game. So they're not going to waste any of those opportunities.
NFL season on the road.
The seniors are 22 years old by the time they get home. All right, I'll be that guy. I'll go Lisbon. Lisbon has impressed me. Grant Minor, the quarterback, has been a guy that's come along. Ashton Hinchcliffe. I mean, if we're not talking about guys like Owen Uriauchi and Jay Sean Lindsay in that EOAC, we're talking about Ashton Hinchcliffe as being potentially the best player across YSN. I mean, look at the stats. Look at what he's done. He's a 2-time 1,000-yard ball carrier. And I'll tell you what, he's doing it on a team that passes the ball a lot and has to pass the ball a lot over the last 2 years in the third and fourth quarter because they're down. Incredible job. I'm taking Lisbon, and I think we've got some injuries in Wellsville also that nobody's talking about either. So keep that in mind. So I'll take the Blue Devils. Am I the lone wolf on this?
That would lone wolf it.
Pretty much.
Man, I need to start selling my voice for ads for cartoons. That's good stuff. That's years of practice, boys. That takes years.
It's a solid wolf right there. October-worthy wolf.
Yeah, man. Let's get out there and be scary. What did you say, Fur?
Sounds like a hurt puppy. Pathetic.
Okay.
You look.
What? I'm not trying to look like a wolf. I'm trying to sound like a wolf. That's the idea.
You sound like Devontae Adams wanting another trade out of it.
No. You can't use my Devontae Adams joke. I already used that.
Bring Cooper Kupp to the Steelers. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. ADHD kicking in.
You're an idiot. Louisville at Worcester. Rob Johnson has the call for us. Fur.
I'm sorry, I was reading Gary's comment. What'd you say? What game are we picking?
Louisville and Worcester.
Oh, Louisville.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
Louisville all the way.
Fur is a machine right now. All right, Hughes, who do you have?
Louisville.
Wait, this way. There it is.
Spot me, Leopards.
Sammy? Oh, that's like the Louisville or the Louisville thing, right? That's the L.
Oh, so I got to go like that.
Is it? I think it's 2 fingers and then the thumb, right? Because this is you take the L. We don't want that. We don't want that one. I'm taking Louisville as well. Leopards. And listen, Leopards with a tough schedule and a tough year and looking at the playoffs dead on. By the way, look out. That's going to be a dangerous low seed for the Leopards. In Division 2, right? 2. Yeah. I don't know if I want to play them in Week 11. On to Lowville and Springfield. Chris Sigler has the call. Eric Hughes, you know a thing or two when it comes to Louisville, but they play that team that's looking to absolutely etch their name in history tonight with another MVAC championship. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, Springfield, they've made it clear this year they're not going where they came out last week. Really punched McDonald. I think it was like 40-0. They shut out Western Reserve, and I mean, Coach Manuelo, when I asked him about the rivalry, he said it's kind of like big brother versus little brother. Springfield obviously being the big brother. He basically said, like, hey, you guys got to come back and punch him in the mouth this year. Show him. So I'm going to take Louisville in this one. They beat them the last 2 years. It's going to be a lot tougher this year, but I think they'll get it done.
For what are... Oh, boy. I don't know. I don't know what's worse. The fact that it took him 3 tries to rock that chair backwards.
I mean, I just get a migraine listening to that. Give me Springfield.
Give me a wellness check on that chair. That's what I need.
Oh, baby. By next year, this thing ain't going to be functioning.
Ty.
Yeah, Springfield. I got to go with the Tigers all the way. They're back to being the class of the conference. I think they've proven in a big way tonight.
Sam.
2 things you know about October. The leaves are going to change color, and Springfield's going to win football games. Give me Springfield.
Hey, and those leaves are changing color to a bunch of orange. And I don't go against the big guy upstairs. When the leaves turn orange, so does Springfield, and so does the color sheet. I'm taking Springfield in this one. Louisville has had a great season, and obviously we're proud to be bring all the content. But the Tigers table, they've been home all year for the last few years. And I'll tell you what, Springfield, they got that swagger back. That's a scary thing for everybody else. For everybody else in D6. Hey, there it is. There we go. All right, let's go to we got Madison and Conneaut. Wow TV has the coverage for us. Sam, Madison, Conneaut. You said Madison, they're playing no matter what. What does that mean for Conneaut?
Yeah, Conneaut, this is a tough one. Conneaut, it's been a tough year. I think they're finding their way around. Unfortunately for them, Madison is coming off of an emotional loss, and I think they're pissed off, and that is the worst type of Madison to play. They throw the ball well. I think they're just bigger. They're stronger. I think it's going to be too much for Conneaut, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people are calling it. I don't know what the line is. I'm sure it's something, insulting because of how good Madison has been this year, but I think Madison's going to take this one, but look for Conneaut to make this a game.
Can I make a plea for Madison right now, Sam? Can we do our open plea? You
Blue
said
Streaks.
Madison wants us.
Blue Streaks. It's about time you get on the championship network right here, baby. We cover good football, good volleyball. If you do it, we cover it. Get over here. Lake County, we've already got your stepbrother Perry on here. Bring it on over.
You're not in Wisconsin. You're in Ohio. We all know that. We make it abundantly clear. We are the champions of Ohio. We want you, Madison. We need you, Madison. Come on, Madison. Not Billy either. Not Billy Madison. Ty, who do you have in this one?
Yeah, I mean, like Sam said, this is going to be a tough game, no doubt. But I'm going to give my love to Madison, too, because I've been there before for playoff games, and they've always treated me well. They have nice facilities. Their gym's beautiful, old-school-looking gym. So if Madison wants us, I'll give them some love, too, and say, come on, jump aboard.
Hughes?
Yeah, I'll take Madison also.
Oh, boy, Conneaut's not going to be happy right now. Fur?
Who'd Sam pick?
Oh, boy, here we go.
I picked Madison.
He calls himself a company guy. Give me Conneaut.
Next game, Mineral Ridge, McDonald, Anthony Malone has the coverage for us. Ladies and gentlemen, McDonald coming off a tough loss. No other way to put it. Mineral Ridge also has had a tough season. This is a potential game that means everything. Signature win, I would imagine, for both teams. When you look at this, who are you going to go with? Let's start with Hughes. He loves the MVAC. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to take Mineral Ridge in this one. That was just a rough week for McDonald last week. I get it, they were playing Springfield. McDonald, I know they love that wing T offense, but Springfield, they really made it one dimensional for them. They really
They like
couldn't
that
get
wing
much
T
else
offense
going.
too.
Yeah, and I think they kind of gave like Milwards a blueprint to beat McDonald. So I'll take the Rams in this one.
Fur?
That comment made me a little upset.
What
A
comment?
little upset.
I'll be honest. I would assume is Brady Balestrino relation there?
Yes.
Brady's a hell of an athlete. He is an animal. He
Mhm.
made some unbelievable catches last week in the reserve and Ridge game. He literally mossed Jack Darney. Great athlete. He's going to be amazing. Great kid. And I was actually kind of disappointed in how McDonald played last week against Springfield. I thought that was going to be a way closer game. I genuinely thought, not because I don't like Springfield, but I genuinely thought McDonald was going to win. Just for how well they've been playing all season. But I forgot who we. Oh, McDonald's gonna. Yeah, I think McDonald's gonna win this one. I went way too off the script for that. Someone else go ahead.
All right, Ty, go ahead.
This is a good game. I mean, these two schools aren't too far from each other either, right in the heart of Trumbull County too. I mean, McDonald and Mineral Ridge, they have rivalries in multiple sports as well. It feels like that whole MVAC is nothing but rivalries. I'm gonna go with the flip side. I'm gonna go with McDonald in this one. I like the size they have up front. I think they're going to be able, like I said, be able to run the ball a little bit better. And in cold weather, you're going to need that. I'm going to go with Blue Devils in this one.
Sam, go ahead.
I think Ridge has had 4 games already this year that they would that they want back. PV, Orange, Springfield, and Western Reserve. They're not going 0 for 5. I think Ridge is taking this one. This is going to be their signature win, the one that you talked about a little bit to start this. I think Ridge can win this one. Get some confidence heading into the playoffs. Give me the Rams.
Hey, Sam, while you are mulling over the next pick, can you look and see that message that you sent? See if that's on the schedule, because I'm not seeing it as we look towards it. I'm going to go with Ridge on this one, too. Everybody knows how much I love McDonald and what they've been able to bring. I think that punch in the mouth last week, you're going to learn about McDonald. Even if you got 5 people picking Ridge here tonight, you're going to find out who McDonald is tonight. Either they are who we thought they were, or they are going to have to experience some growing pains to get to where they want to go. I'm going to take Ridge tonight because I think, as Sam said, they're due. They're due. So give me the Rams tonight, which means, Fur, you are the lone wolf, and you don't look like a wolf either. Okay then. Okay then. All right, that works.
Yes, it is on the schedule. I double checked.
Where did I miss it?
It must have. It's there. Lone Larry.
I don't know. I don't know where it is.
Below
Oh, there it
Crestfield
is.
and the
I see it. Yep. Okay, so let's do that one. Edgewood at Lakeside. Larry Jennings has the call for us tonight. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is a rivalry game. That's why I was chuckling a little bit when you guys were talking about how Western Reserve has a million rivals. I fall into that category too. I'm a Lakeside graduate. Every Ashtabula team was our rival, but this is a legitimate trophy game between these two teams. There's a little bit of extra pepper, a little bit of extra hot sauce on this one, as Terry Henton, who is the head coach at Lakeside, was the offensive coordinator for Edgewood just last year. Him and Elijah Juan Cooper, who's the head coach over at Edgewood, came into coaching together. So this is something where these two guys, they know each other. It's not necessarily a hatred between them, but it's kind of like, when you're going against one of your friends, you want to have the bragging rights. These are two schools that transfer kids back and forth every year. So half of these guys on both of the teams have started in the other district. They play back and forth ping pong. These are kids who are looking for bragging rights. Lakeside's kind of on a heater. They've had some good weeks over the last couple weeks. Devin Miller has been a monster, and it's at Lakeside, by the way. So I think it's going to be a close game. This game is always fun to watch. If you're going to peek in on some games, check out the Battle of the Bridge. The winner of this game, the team always goes to the Lift Bridge, which is a center point here in Ashtabula, and takes a picture as the owner for the next year. So a lot to play for, a lot of cool stuff that they've added. I think Lakeside's going to take it this in this one tonight.
I mean, if you guys are owning that bridge, paint it school colors, because I think that'd be sweet every year.
Listen, it would be awesome, but we have this thing called the Harbor Historic Society that will never let that happen. But maybe we can get a sign or something put up, because they got to do
the yacht club.
When I'm president on day one, there will be plenty of paint, and we will paint it green for Lakeside. Historic, we're talking 1779. Okay, that's how far this goes back.
It's very cool, because you have the Lift Bridge, which is obviously the separator between East Ashtabula and West Ashtabula. But also, to actually get to the game, you have to go over a bridge. And what happens is, fans from each team, there's like a drawing point, a line in the middle. And as the bus goes over the bridge, you drive either through Edgewood fans or through Lakeside fans on your way to the game. It's something very cool that they've started over the last couple of years.
What about lights? You could put like lights on it and color it different colors, and it's like, it's green for now until whatever.
I'll tell you what, that's a good, because the bridge is lit up. So maybe we'll have to talk to the city manager, Jim Timonier.
Lights, yeah, that would be cool. Lights.
Yeah, you got to change the lights to green or red, depending on who wins this game.
Hear
this. I know you're watching it, because his son is a Lakeside graduate and he's a fan of YSN.
And on 4th of July, it becomes red, white, and blue, Jim. Okay, that's the only caveat to this. Otherwise, that team gets it all year long. I'm going to take Lakeside. I'm digging what Lakeside's doing right now. Sam, you gave your pick. Ty, how about you?
Yeah, and in this game too, where neither team really has the shot for the playoffs, I like these type of games though, because this is like your championship game. So you're gonna see everything thrown out on the field tonight, because they're going to want to get this win in this big rivalry game. I'm going to go with the Dragons in this one, just because, like Sam said, they have 2 wins in the last 3 weeks. They're feeling themselves a little bit. I think they're going to get another one here tonight. Give me Lakeside.
Sorry.
Give me Lakeside.
Got it. Fur.
Top row takes way too long. Me and Husey, real quick, give me Lakeside.
Even when you're trying to be quick, you can't be quick. Like, you had to explain what was going on.
Or you're falling out of your chair.
Or that replay is going to be awesome, though. That will live forever. On to Niles and Gerard, guys. DK Kotzel has this. Lightning round, Gerard. Sam.
Gerard.
Was that good enough for you, Chris?
No. Sam was too slow.
I guess.
Like this thing comes down.
I mean, do you have lift bridges in Columbiana?
Best bridges come from Ashtabula County. There's no better bridge.
Sam does not appreciate our bridge architecture down here in Columbiana County.
Yeah, the erector set, they're not fighting for that.
What?
We have some sweet bridges here, and especially this next team we're talking about in East Liverpool. There's some cool bridges down in Liver County. So that being said, Oak Glen, which is a team from West Virginia IA, taking on East Liverpool in what is a rivalry. Gary Burton has the call for us. Sam, would you like to pick the erector set, or which side of the erector set would you like to choose?
Listen, I am an Ohio man through and through. If there's anything about me, I am a homer in my soul. So I'm never picking West Virginia, the state that I avoid like the plague when I have to go to Myrtle Beach. I'm never picking a team from there. I don't care if Tom Brady's the quarterback.
How Ohio can you be if you're rooting for Tom Brady?
Well, quarterbacks aren't exactly our thing in Ohio. So, right.
That's true. That's true. Ty?
If I'm not mistaken, too, wouldn't this be the first winning season for Coach Cusick with East Liverpool if they pull off this win tonight?
I believe you're right, sir.
I gotta go with the Potters in this one. They're sitting at the 10 seed. They could get to potentially the 8 seed, but they could miss the playoffs with a loss. So a lot to play for tonight. I think it's Potters all the way. I think from the way they started to the way they finished, it's always Coach Cusick's thing, right? It's always the way you finish, right? And he always finishes season strong with his teams. I'm gonna go with East Liverpool in this one.
Paint the town Potter blue. It's all Liverpool in this one, and they're going to erect a statue of Paul Cusick at some point because what a job he has done.
Good check on me, Gary Burton. I appreciate it. If there's anyone that's going to know anything about East Liverpool, it's him too. So,
well, there you
another
go.
winning season coming up for potentially for the Potters.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Fact checked.
That's the Coach Cusick effect, though, right? You come into a football program and immediately you start seeing some wins.
Dude, he's so awesome. People don't realize how much of an influence he has in that locker room, on that field, every day in that school district. Well done, Q. Well done. On to Eric Hughes. I'm sorry.
Give me East Liverpool.
Liverpool. Oh boy.
Oh
Bird
God, he's back.
Thanks, Husey.
Fixed it. East Liverpool had the first area girls state champ in wrestling last year. So that's why I'm picking East Liverpool tonight.
Awesome.
Congratulations. It has nothing to do with football.
I love how the picks, yeah, he goes like, and then we get to the pick.
Poland and Struthers. Matt Romeo and the Juice. Tommy Otto. All right, Hughes. We all know you've been waiting your entire life for this. Go ahead.
Look, man, the Cats are going to be eating the dogs tonight. It's going to be a beautiful sight. Give me the Struthers Wildcats. It's going to be a landslide. It's going to be too big to rig.
I appreciate that. All right, Fur.
That was a shocker. Gosh, I don't like either of these schools.
Hughes is sitting on Fox News all week long, just like taking quotes off of it, and he's like, I gotta work this into the Struthers Poland game.
God. One hand, I don't want to get Hughes a satisfaction, and the other hand, I just can't stand Poland. So, give me the referees.
You didn't pick Poland, so I'll take it.
Let's have a good officiating night out there, referees.
Ty, go ahead. Save us.
I'm going to go. I like Struthers in this one. I think Struthers' defense has looked really good. So has Poland's, but really the only team that's been able to put up points against the Wildcats has been South Range this year. And even then, I think Struthers competed with South Range pretty well, too. So did Poland, though. It was a tough pick, but I think in this 50-50 game, Struthers being at home, I love Juice on the calls as well, too. Tommy Otto. So give me Struthers in this one.
Struthers. All right, on to Sammy.
Can we skip him?
This is tough because I haven't picked Struthers all year, and they're at home against Poland, who they have a tough time with, and it's just going to make Week 10 even worse in Struthers as Poland's going to absolutely dog walk them.
I see what you did there. Dog walk. I'm going to go with Struthers. I do think this is going to be one of the games of the night. I do. I know there's other media companies there, and we always root for the one-sided game on either side. But I think this is going to be a great game. I think there's two great teams on the field. I think that Devin Bram is just too much. I think he is one of the best underrated players of the year. If there was an award for that, and by golly, there might be at the end of the year, Bram would probably get it, the underrated most valuable player, because he deserves it. He deserves that. He deserves a real MVP if we're really looking at it. But man,
he broke a rushing record.
Yeah, I mean, in Struthers, and there's a lot of good backs that have run in Struthers. So you think about that. Poland, man, they are the epitome of team football, right? There are five fingers make a fist. That's who they are. I think they're going to throw some punches tonight. I just think, hopefully it's not for real, but I think that, it's a situation where I think Struthers just has too much firepower. You know, they don't have as many weapons, but they've got a lot more. You know, you got machine guns versus cannons in this game. So who's going to take it? You know, Struthers doesn't need the ball quite as much. They have the splash play ability, and Poland can just work that ball down the field. This one's going to come down to defense. I think I like Struthers' size and physicality, so I'm taking Struthers. On to the next one. It is Pymatuning Valley, Grand Valley. Chad has the call. Sammy, take us through this real quick.
Yeah, it's a tough year for Grand Valley. Not only has, you know, they started off very, very strong, but unfortunately injuries have absolutely crippled this team. I know that they only dressed 20 guys last week against St. John. It's just been a tough year, a rebuild year, and Pymatuning Valley is doing what they do, and that's win football games. They're getting ready for a double home playoff run, and they're pumped about it. Ty Vickery and Ryan Croston are one of the best backfields in the entire network. It's going to be Pymatuning Valley. I'm not going to say by a lot, but we'll just say comfortably.
I am going to say this one time and one time only. Pymatuning Valley for all of you keeping track at home. Ty.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you your love, Lakers, too. I went against you last week with my Portage County team going up that way too, and you proved that you were the class of the conference once again. Best team in the 4-4-0. I still believe it. Go Lakers tonight.
Fur.
Give me Pie Valley.
We'll go.
Oh, you're dead now.
Oh,
Don't ever.
Dead.
You're dead. You're a dead man.
P.O. Box 68, East Palestine, Ohio, care of Fur Colucci. All of the bad emails and juju, send them over to him. On to Eric Hughes.
Yeah, I'm taking Pie Valley also.
Oh my God!
I know you guys like saying Pymatuning Valley or PV. I really don't care, honestly. Pie Valley just rolls off the tongue nicer, but I'm thinking you guys would be grateful.
They are going to slice that tongue out of your mouth. Like,
I don't care.
He's like, I don't care. It'll do good for me.
The people of Pymatuning Valley have basically become the Arkham Asylum, and they have like real not real threats, but like very threatening people of hey, say our name right if you're going to have us on your network. We apologize. We mean nothing by it. It is very nice to say what we said, but I've learned. There it is. There it is. I knew it was coming.
There are no pies in Andover, only cornfields and good football.
All right, we're gonna let that.
You were
slide.
trying to go on a rock promo so hard.
We're gonna let that slide.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting.
Do you like pie?
You were going with the eyebrow and everything.
Riverside at Mohawk. Hughes, you have it. Who you going with?
Yeah, first of all, it's about damn time I was able to get out there. I was supposed to go out there twice this year. Rained both days, press box situation, was able to go, but finally getting one Mohawk game in for the year ends. But on the Mohawk, though, they're 5-3 on the year. Really should be 6-3, but they had a game at Shenango. They were up 4-0 in the first quarter, got rained out. They just canceled altogether. But their offense is amazing. Bobby Fountain's a great quarterback, and they don't just emphasize one weapon. They give it to everybody. Everybody gets their touches. Even their losses, they average 30 points a game. They're lighting up the scoreboard this year. I think they'll do the same tonight. Give me the Warriors.
Bobby Fadden, by the way, is one of the best athletes on our network. Like,
great basketball and baseball player, too.
Offensive player of the year last year in basketball for us for a reason.
He might put up 1 million points in basketball this year. As long as they got him, they got a shot. I'm taking Mohawk as well. Sam.
Yeah, I'm not going against YSN ever. Give me Mohawk.
You picked Madison earlier.
Yeah, but that's within Ohio. That's within Ohio. The same thing that applies to West Virginia applies to Pennsylvania. So if it's Pennsylvania YSN, they're always getting it.
Flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. All right, on to you were born in a middle class family.
You go me. You said me. I said Mohawk. Mohawk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Fur.
I picked Mohawk because
my
aunt is a guidance counselor there. Give me Mohawk.
Oh, yeah. They also beat South Range in basketball last year.
Oh,
point that out.
Oh,
wrestling is my sport in the wintertime, dude. So
I'm just saying.
Okay, let's play football. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Let's play. Let's sign it up. Mohawk versus South Range. I want to line it up. Let's go, boys.
Right now.
Yeah.
Battle for the championship. Pennsylvania versus Ohio. The winner has we play real football in that state. That's what we're gonna put it all on South Range and Mohawk. That's what we're gonna do for all the marbles.
I like the odds.
And we
I like
get to
it.
claim Joe Montana and Ben Roethlisberger. On to who do we have? Salem and West Branch. Oh, Salem and West Branch, you say? Salem's been on a heater, Sam. Does West Branch? I mean, this is one of the biggest rivalries. We talk about rivalries. This is the biggest rivalry, I think, this side of the Mississippi. West Branch and Salem. Red versus green. Who you taking, Sammy?
Green means go. West Branch is not losing any games in the regular season. Get ready to go to Canton. Warriors all the way.
That's a tough division. Let's just put it that way. Canton's a long way away from home. I'm gonna go with West Branch regardless here tonight. Certainly here tonight. But Canton is a long way from home here, even though it's a nice little 45-hour drive. Feels like it's a long way away, about 6 weeks, as a matter of fact. Ty, who you taking?
I gotta go West Branch. You know, I'm a big lover of defenses, and West Branch is that, man. Under 20 points every team that they played against this year. And the only teams that have scored in double digits have been Marlington and Howland, and those were games well decided in the second half too, where a lot of second unit was into for West Branch. They're built for a long run this year, and I don't think they overlook their rivals in this one. Give me the Warriors.
Christopher Butters, what's the spread?
Butters.
Stand by. So I had no time to write down all these spreads. Work calls.
Look at this diligent work right now.
Holy crap.
Okay.
West Branch by 34.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't know. Violated?
You could have given me 100 words in the dictionary. That wouldn't have been the one that came.
You know, everyone in Salem's looking at this saying, if we win, though, we could pull off the upset of the entire season.
Dude, if you're Salem, you win and you're in.
Yeah, you're in, and you shock a Warriors team going into the playoffs too. That could be detrimental to them.
Do you know what this
And-
looks like to me?
but
This
then that-
looks like. Go ahead, Fur.
That makes a tough. I'm sorry, DJ. I know you're giving me a dirty look now, but that makes West Branch a tough low seed if Salem's able to upset them. You know what I mean? A high seed's gonna have to play.
I don't think they lose a whole lot. I think Salem gains a lot. It's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog for all you older kids out there. Whenever you have all the rings and then they hit you,
You lose everything.
You lose everything. So I mean, Salem just picks up all those rings. That's how it goes. So I mean, I'm going to take West Branch in the win, but man, Salem, you can get some coins here and make the playoffs and make a nice little run. For who you taking?
I'm picking West Branch. I don't think this is going to be a game.
Fantastic. Thank you for your
Okay,
comments.
shut up.
You
If
had
Salem wins, I will dress up as the Quaker Oats guy for the show next week. I can tell you that right now.
Come on, Salem. Well, there's no show. This is it, man. This is it. There's no show next week.
Oh, we don't do a playoff push?
No, because people got to travel.
We did it last year.
We have playoff show where we talk to the coaches. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay.
Yeah, we there will be no shows because some people are going to have to travel.
Yeah,
That makes
Some
sense.
people are going to have to leave. I'm not exaggerating. At like 3
Thursday.
o'clock.
yeah. There's a couple that are going to be an hour and a half treks, 2-hour treks to get there.
Hughes, who do you have?
Give me West Branch.
West Branch. All right. South Range and Hubbard. Zach Svensson and Braden Balla have the call. Listen, we got a lot of people that are mad about the last few weeks from South Range. I apologize. When you go on the road, you get the home announcers, and I'm going to defend my guys. Obviously, it's a situation where you don't have the typical South Range announcer. He goes unnamed. But I will say that I will say that like it's what everybody else deals with. And we just had a little bit longer of a stretch at the beginning of the season, 6 weeks, that you had some home cooking. So these are high schoolers. Like, leave these guys alone a little bit. Like, let's have some. And they've already been told, make sure that we're cutting it down the middle a little bit, getting excited for South Range touchdown as we are for Hubbard touchdown. So I think this game's going to be closer than everybody thinks it's going to be. But I'm going to take South Range to perfect the season at 10-0. And by the way, motor's only getting started, boys. Motor's only getting started. Sammy.
South Range is different. That's it. It's South Range all the way. They're built for 16 weeks, and this is when the season starts for them.
Ty Bartell.
The Raiders.
All right, on to Fur.
Hoist the colors, baby.
I like that line. Whoever came up with that's a genius. On to Eric Hughes.
Yeah, I'll take South Range in this one.
Short, sweet, to the point, just like me. On to Southeast at Liberty. Jordan Barber has the call. Ty, talk us through this one.
I mean, this is a battle of two really talented players. I see it as DeJuan Moody for Liberty and Briar Buchanan for Southeast. Both these young men have really caught my attention this season for what they've been able to do for their teams, and I really have both their names circled in this matchup. I'm looking forward to see what kind of nights both of them can produce. I think just the fact that it's going to be on the road is going to be tough with Liberty playing at home. That they always bring a good, solid crowd there, and home cooking is always tough. But I'm of course going to support the Southeast Pirates. Give some love to the Pirates in their first season with YSN. I think this is going to be a close matchup. It depends on which Liberty team we see show up. They've been playing good football as of late, but I think Southeast looking for a win to try to scratch their way into the offs.
Fur.
Give me Liberty.
Sam.
Prince of Portage says Southeast. I'm going with them.
Hughes.
I'll take Liberty.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, this game is tough. I'm gonna go with Liberty. They look like a different ball club right now. Look like a different ball club. I like Southeast. Don't get me wrong. Liberty's looking like they're trying to turn it on.
DeJuan Moody is a dog. He is.
They're sitting right on the outskirts. They're one of those 32 teams trying to peek in. I don't know if this helps them, but can't hurt them if they win this game. I'm gonna go with Liberty. They got a lot to play for. All right, on to Southern Local in Latonia. Southern Local potentially a share, I believe, of the EOAC crown if United loses. Latonia looking to avoid an 0-10 season. I believe, and we can get some fact checkers out there, this will be their second in a row. So let's do a lightning round here. Southern Local for me. Let's go to Sam.
Couch pick.
Hi.
Southern.
Let's go, Eric.
Southern.
And Fur.
Latonia.
All right. United at East Palestine, gentlemen. East Palestine, 6-3 for the first time in 7 years since the Tony Foster / Parker Sherry days. This is a home game. This is senior night. They did their last hits as seniors yesterday at practice. Very emotional for East Palestine. Again, United can win the clinching, like they're the Lone Rangers at the top of the EOAC standings tonight with a victory in East Palestine. They own like 8 straight or something crazy like that. Bad reporting, obviously bad journalism. But I'm going to tell you that United has typically had East Palestine's number in history, right? They've had their number in history. Can East Palestine change history tonight with Owen Uriauchi trying to lift his team, hoist his team to a 7-3 and potentially into the playoffs for the seniors tonight? Is it Palestine? Is it United? Sam, go ahead.
Listen, East Palestine, if they win this game, they have a 1% chance of getting a home game. And that 1% is how much people have believed in them all year. I believe in them 100% tonight. Give me East Palestine.
Bulldogs. All right, on the tie.
It's gonna be what type of United team we see, because I mean I've seen United against Southern and it was a 17-14 low scoring game, but then United last week against Valley, that was a different Eagles team. They bring that team. It's gonna be a long night for East Palestine. I'm a sucker for underdogs though too, and the underdogs are the Bulldogs, even though they're at home. And I love that Bulldogs with that home atmosphere. Give me East Palestine.
Bulldogs. All right, on to Eric Hughes.
Yeah, it kind of feels like I pick East Palestine like every single week this year, except for the one week where DJ made fun of my cat. Other than that, I've been picking them all year. So I think
That is where he drew the line.
but I'll take them in this one. I think they'll keep the train rolling. You don't like my double entendre? No. Okay.
Not good. Not good. Well played. It's too soon. Settlement's not final yet, there, buddy. Her.
Choo choo.
Why? Why?
Keep the train moving. Give me
They should do, like East Palestine should do like what Steubenville does with the horse, but do like a train that's like
No.
blowing.
No, not gonna happen.
Just embrace it. Just embrace
You gotta
it.
own it, baby.
Gosh.
We're
You
gonna
know I'm
get
taking
canceled.
East Palestine. You know I'm
Atta
taking East
boy.
Palestine. You know I'm doing it. I mean, I think this is going to be a tough game for them, but they're going to keep the ball on the ground. When you put the ball in the air against United, you're in big trouble. They got Casto, who had 2 picks a couple weeks ago, and their defense has clamped down. So,
He's good for like 6 points every week on defense.
dude, I
Like,
want to start him on my fantasy team. It's ridiculous. Like, I would take that kid right now. He's like a first-round draft pick. United is going to keep this tight, but it's in the dog pound. It's on turf, and we're looking at possibly like a 15% chance of rain tonight, as I understand it. So keep the football on the ground. Let's see how it goes. Owen Uriauchi's having a great year. I want to see some more plays though out of Palestine. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's nothing else. Open up the playbook. Let's see how this goes. Could see some trick plays, and also what are we going to see uniform wise from East Palestine tonight? All oranges last week. All oranges last week. What do we see this week? Do we get some? It could be grays. Could it be the all grays? Do we get a new helmet? What do we get this week? I'm excited. It's like watching Oregon, right, Sam?
Well, one thing East Palestine gets right is the colors.
You got me there. You son of a gun. Warren Harding, Austin Town Fitch Ty. What do you got?
This is a great game every single year. I mean, 36 matchups all time. Austintown leads that matchup edge 19-17 all time. So this is a coin flip game just about every single year. Both these teams in the midst of winning seasons, both these teams battling for positioning in the playoffs, and both these teams are super athletic. What do you know? Once again, and they also can run the ball very well, which I think is going to be very important in tonight's game too. Like you said, it's going to be cold, might be a little bit wet out there too. So that ball security is going to be big for both these teams. I like Fitch at home, though, of course. I think the Falcons at home in Greenwood Chevrolet Stadium play a little bit different. They play with a little bit more fire in their belly. So I'm going to go with the Falcons in this one in a tough rivalry game against the Raiders.
I'm taking the Falcons. TJ Parker and the boys. I'm on that bandwagon. They taught me a lesson last week when I picked Boardman. Yahtzee. All right, Sam, who you taking?
Listen, as long as the Falcons have Ty on the call, they're not losing, baby. Give me 14 points. Just Ty being there. It's going to be all about the Falcons tonight.
Eric Hughes.
Yeah, I mean, look, Warren Harding, they have a great team. James Dale, the offense line for the Steelers, actually graduated from there. I didn't know that until recently. But they're not a YSN school, so it doesn't matter. So give me Fitch.
James Daniels, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. All right. Let's go to Fur.
Falcons.
Nice job. All right. 2 games left real quick. Waterloo, Camel Memorial, Matt Marr on the call. Ty, you love Waterloo. You taking them here?
Yeah, I love Waterloo. I like Mike DeVries too, but I also love you too, Soup City. I love Camel Memorial as well. I think both these teams are doing a lot of the similar things right now. I think they're in the similar spots in their season. I go Vikings, though, on this one. 50-50 game for me.
Ty goes Waterloo. Sam, who do you go with?
Give me the Lou. Waterloo, that is.
I am going to take Camel Memorial. I think that, Ty, you said it best, 50-50 game. This is right down the middle. And you know how I feel about 50-50s. It's always the home field that has the advantage. I'm going to take Camel Memorial. Hughes.
Yeah, I got to see Waterloo play Lowville last week, and I know Waterloo, their record isn't that great, but they do play in a tough conference the day the MVAC Scarlet. Their offense can definitely move the ball. Got to see it last week. They just didn't make enough plays at the end, but I think they'll bounce back here in week 10, so give me the Vikings.
Fur Daddy.
What? That was wild comment there. Give me Camel.
What?
Not you, Eric. DJ called me daddy.
Fur Daddy.
What?
That's weird.
The wild comment.
Fur baby.
There we go.
You want me to call you what I really think? We'll go
Does
that
it-
route.
Does
All
it
right,
sound like fur?
Let's go Columbiana tomorrow at 7 p.m. against Valley Christian to wrap up the regular season here on the network. Joey Sebio has the call. It's the Fighting Hakes versus the Fighting Spates. Sam, you know we were starting with you.
Yeah, I knew it. Oh man, this is tough. You know, I love me some Andy Hake, but the notorious B.O.B. is a legend in this household. You know, this one's going to come down to I think, is it Lindsay or Lindsley?
Lindsay.
Lindsay or Mr. Unlimited, like you guys call him.
Mr.
I think he's
Unlimited.
I think he's phenomenal. I think this is he's another one that he's a player to watch if you haven't seen, and I'm going to be watching him tomorrow. I get a chance to. So give me Hakeomania in this one. Sorry, Coach Bob.
Well, and keep this in mind. Columbiana wins this. They potentially have a spot in the playoffs. Valley's already in. Ty?
Yeah, I know Columbiana's playing for a lot, but I just feel like Valley Christian's practices were very tough this past week after the way they lost last week to United. I think they're going to be coming out playing with a purpose and trying to prove something to Coach Hake. Give me Valley Christian in this one.
Hughes.
Give me Valley Christian.
Key. Go ahead, Fur.
Yeah, give me Coach Hake in this one.
Special guest right now, the all-time leader in tackles for Columbiana, Kian Hartley. Kian, are you taking Columbiana or Valley Christian?
I got to take my alma mater. I love Coach Spade, love all those coaches, so I'm taking Columbiana.
My guy. You
Yes,
are
pick.
absolutely a
Gotta
legend, and you are absolutely wrong. Valley Christian wins this one tomorrow. We love you, Key. We love you.
That's the
He
swerve
walks
of the
up to
day
us,
right
"We're
there."
winning this game. We're winning this game. We're winning this game. Kian Hartley, man. I'll tell you what, the all-time leader in tackles. One of the best players you're ever going to see, Keelan Hartley, right here on YSN, and he did some damage for the last 4 years. Coach Spate wishes he had him one more year. One more year. All right, it is time for the Joe Dickey Electric. What's Your Spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical. Ladies, I don't even know where that thing is today. There it is. Okay, hang on. Real quick. Bam. All right, we're quick on time today, but guys, you have all the time you want to take because you've taken the last 90 minutes to give us your time and to give us your expertise. So with that being said, Fur, you ready to go? Here we go.
I know he may be watching, maybe. My brother down in Florida turns 27 today. So big shout out, happy birthday to my brother. He's been a big role model in my life, and I love him to death. So shout out to my brother.
Ty.
Yeah, just giving a lot of love to just the people that support YSN too, and just support all of us as well. It's so nice that I could just walk into a multitude of communities, have conversations with so many great families and so many great people, and you'll meet all kinds of people from all different walks of life, and the good ones are certainly worth it in this business.
Hughes.
First of all, happy birthday to Fur's brother. And second of all, I guess I'll talk about something that's kind of annoyed me the last couple weeks during the MLB playoffs involving Derek Jeter. Obviously, great player on the field, but I got to be honest, he has the personality of a wet blanket. I get it, you have 5 rings, you played for some of the greatest teams ever, but can you kind of put the whole condescending, I'm more important than everybody else mentality behind and just lighten up a little bit on the broadcast set?
I thought that's who you took after. I thought that was that was the guy.
More of an A-Rod type of guy.
Yeah. And it shows. Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my spark this week, it's going to be a little bit kind of sappy and sad, I guess. It's week 10, and it's week 10 for everybody, but this is a special week 10 for me, as my daughter, who's a senior at St. John High School, is going to cheer her last football game as a herald. And I know that I am not alone in this heartache that comes with it. But to all the senior parents out there, stay strong. I'm doing my best. I shed my tears this morning. I get choked up thinking about it. It's practices, it's running back and forth. It's watching, your little girl or your little boy go from junior high to high school. And I've been blessed in that I've gotten to have a front row seat in the press box or the crow's nest or wherever I'm at for her entire journey. And I've got 2 other daughters who are coming down the pipe as well. But this one is special for Gigi, for my Gianna. And I'm really excited to go down to Vienna tonight to watch this. And it's been a blast. And, again, that's my biggest spark is my kids, and they will always be my biggest spark. And it's going to be a tough one tonight. Hopefully the Heralds can come out with a big W so she can go out on a win. But win, lose, or draw, the seniors tonight, you guys are all the winners.
I'll finish in this regard is Fur and I and some others went to a Steeler game on Sunday night. An electric atmosphere. I mean, Sunday Night Football, there's fireworks going off. They did acknowledge of the 50 years of Super Bowl IX for the Steelers. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's a lot of daddy pops in the parking lot before the game. But one thing I can tell you, as much as I cheered for my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that night, there was one moment in the game that I will never, ever forget for as long as I live was, yes, there were 2 buttholes in the seats that started a "We Want Justin" chant after 2 incompletions that caught on a little bit and caught on to WDVE Pittsburgh, and we were called Jagoffs. That's fine. But there was another chant that was started by 2 Jagoffs in the seats that caught on to 65,000 people in that stadium, and it was more electric than anything I've ever seen or been a part of anywhere. Because earlier in their day, people were talking about how crowds matter, how fans matter, and what they do inside the stadiums matter. That night, Sunday night, 65,000 people stood on their feet and cheered USA. USA at the top of their lungs because there was a bunch of people that were patriots in that house. And I will tell you that even louder, and people think they know what I'm talking about. They have no idea. There was a service veteran that was standing up waving a terrible towel. And it didn't matter if you were wearing green and white or black and gold that night. You cheered that man. Everybody was on their feet clapping, and the USA chant began. Guys, I can't tell you enough. No matter what happens in the next 2 weeks, no matter what happens in the next 2 years, 2 centuries, I don't care. I'm more proud of this country than I've ever been. We are so fortunate to be Americans, and we just have to remember that every day. There's people that would fight and give their entire lives, their livelihood, to protect this country. Never forget that, and always understand that no matter which side you root for, red, blue, green, whatever, it is a great day to be an American always. USA, boys, USA. That is all the time we have. I want to thank you guys for being there every week this season. I want to thank Gary Altizer, some of the guys, CJ Schroeds, Noah Doty, who have popped in from week to week. We want to thank you, football players, cheerleaders, booster clubs, parents, everybody. We want to thank you because this is the highlight of our week. We love going out and doing these games, but to be able to make you laugh, to make you smile, to make you say, hey, these guys are a bunch of a-holes, you know what? That's part of it. A lot of it, some of you guys know, it's very WWE-like. We play a character for 10 weeks. These gentlemen that are on your screen love and care more about your student athlete than you could ever realize. It's just fun a lot of times, and we have to play a character to get the reaction that we want. And we thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week here during the football season. We also want to thank our sponsor, Toyota Warren, for making sure that they're in the good fun with it. For Sam, for Ty, for Eric, for Fur, my name is DJ. This has been the YSN Power Hour Super Show for week 10. Go out and support some schools. It's last week. Support some student athletes. And Sam, support them seniors. We'll see you next time on the YSN Power Hour. YSN thanks you for watching this